today's assignment, you're going to create a landscape of spheres proving the 6 illusions of depth. You're going to have size, we're going to overlap, we're going to change the placement, we'll deal a little bit with color, detail, and linear perspective. We'll spend more time with this a little later, okay? Not maybe today. What we're going to work on first is just changing the size. If you have a compass at home, that works great. If you can use a bottle top, that works great at home if you don't have a compass. Use your largest circle closest to the bottom of the picture plane. This is going to count for 2. It's going to count for the size. Large objects will look close to us. It'll also count for placement. It's close to the base of the picture plane. If you draw a horizon, that is where the sky and the landscape meet. You can put large objects in the sky. They're going to look closer to us up here because they're to the edge of the page. Okay. The sides of the page don't count as much for placement just once you have this horizon line. The easiest way to create an illusion of depth is not just having larger objects close, but also to overlap. So we're going to quickly overlap a smaller circle. You can use it again, a bottle top or your compass, and make it touch and go behind. Compass is going to move just a little bit. There we go. All right, and it's just going to overlap. Make sure that you erase. Don't draw all the way through. That's a lot of extra erasing. So now this one is obviously behind our large object. Okay, so overlapping and stars are some of the easiest ways to create. You can also create by fading to the distance in color. If I put this one as 1, this one is 2, I can put a small one using the inside of my compass closer to the horizon line. By placement, it's automatically going to be further back. The third one we can work with is linear perspective. Notice that these are kind of lining up to maybe a vanishing point to the corner. What I want for a linear perspective is for those bases of those spheres to line up together. So I'm going to kind of find one that's maybe in the middle. Again, it's going to have to be smaller than the large one and bigger than this middle one. So I'm going to come into the middle and pick something that's going to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to use, again, maybe just the inside of my compass. Sometimes it likes to draw. Okay. And they're almost in a line that'll work. Okay. The next thing that I want you to do is set maybe around them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I have to set 2 more that maybe are around them. I want it smaller than this, but moving to this side. So I'm going to pick a smaller sphere, again, maybe to the inside. And then I might put a random one in the sky, just for fun. There's some interesting things that will happen if you put one in the sky. The next thing you're going to do before you shade is set your light source. Each sphere must have a tangent. Draw these very lightly. You may not even see them when I'm done, but you can see the process of what I'm looking for. The light source is going to come all the way to, we'll call this a table, the ground. Then I'm going to add, this must be a horizontal line. Your shadows must be horizontal. I watched my first period class and they had their shadows turning. They must be flat. They must follow the baseline. This one will move for a different tangent. I'm not going to draw the whole thing. I'm just going to find the light source and I'm going to give myself that line of where the shadow will go. Notice as they come closer to me, my shadows will expand. As they move further away from the light source, your shadows will be longer. Watch that. Okay. And let me show you that one more time. That's going all the way to the light source, all the way through. Now here's some problem solving. This one is floating. Usually if I have a floating one, the shadow will be on the ground, separated, make it a little longer, from the one in the sky. That's its shadow. All right, I might move it a little bit, but we're going to leave it there for today. And then this shadow is going to be very long because, again, it's further from the piece. What I'm going to let you do is set up your drawing. See how those shadows intersect? So just for drawing purposes, I don't want them touching. Okay, the nice thing about if you'll draw light, you can correct. Okay, I'm floating that shadow. All right, we're going to draw together first. Draw 6 spheres and find their shadow locations using your tangents. Okay, also make sure that you have size changes, overlapping, and placement. We'll come back with a different video for detail.